Feyd Rautha. He's psychotic.
Denis Villeneuve did some pretty amazing things to the source material story with his Dune movies. While staying brutally honest to the original source, he added his own style, thoughts, and art into his interpretation, especially to the second part of Dune. This movie explores the extremely convoluted political landscape of the universe, but more importantly, it also goes into the territory of the Harkonnens, their way of life, how their home planet and its geological conditions affect the residents, how the Harkonnens have been servants to pleasure that's sometimes extremely depraved, and the things the Harkonnens do to satisfy these vile and wild desires. Now, one such addition to the lore and culture of Harkonnens is their tryst with cannibalism. In this video, we will explore everything there is to explore as far as Harkonnens and their relationship with cannibalism is concerned. Let's begin, shall we? So, the primary reason why the question of Harkonnens eating humans arises is because of Feyd Rautha Harkonnens' women at the harem, who just happen to eat humans. Harpies, as they are called, are given dead humans as food. These are usually people whom Feyd Rautha kills. We know that Dune 2 majorly focused on how barbaric and terrifying the Harkonnens were in conducting their business. From the mastermind Vladimir Harkonnen to the Mentat, everyone is twisted. Even the denizens of their home planet, Gedi Prime, seem quite vampiric in nature. So it won't be a total surprise if they consumed their slaves or prisoners. As far as the Harpies are concerned, the Dune Wiki says they are mythical shadow demons laying in ambush, but Denis Villeneuve brought his own version of the Harpies in the movie. These women are extremely pale, with no eyebrows, decayed but sharp carnivorous teeth, and yeah, they wear dominatrix-style leather. In fact, their appearance is a little reminiscent of the Strangers from the 1998 film Dark City. It's a cult classic if you like horror and aliens. Regardless, in Dune Part 2, the way Feyd Rautha exhibits his hatred for everything humane and moral is pretty much a window into his life as a Harkonnen. This guy keeps a harem of cannibalistic women, but he treats them like his pets instead of his keeps or concubines. He shows some degree of care and concern for them because he ensures they're well fed, so why does he do it? Is he afraid that if they're starved, he'll become their next meal? In fact, there have been mentions of Harkonnen harems or pleasure wings, and Feyd Rautha was once tasked with executing all the women in one of these pleasure wings as a punishment. Bearing all this in mind, we want to conclude that cannibalism might not be a common practice amongst the Harkonnens or the general public of Gedi Prime, but at the same time, we feel that cannibalism isn't as frowned upon here as it is in other parts of the universe. Maybe it's an acceptable form of social evil that isn't considered an extremely demented crime. If you think about it, the Harkonnens have a lot of strange things that they keep for pleasure. You may remember the spider-human pet from the first movie. That little guy was most likely made by the Bene Tleilax, the most advanced genetic engineers of the Dune universe, who are frowned upon by the nobles but are considered a necessary evil because of their talents. So yeah, it's also possible that the Harpies had been genetically created or modified by the Bene Tleilax to serve some depraved form of pleasure of the Harkonnens, in this case cannibalism. I mean, because the Harkonnens want to see some sort of people-eating people action but cannot indulge themselves, they use the Harpies to do so. Feyd Rautha's Harpies make us wonder just how far the Harkonnens might go to serve their senses. But I must admit that the film, at no instance, suggests that the Harkonnens actively participate in cannibalistic tendencies. They only facilitate and promote such behavior, which is pretty dark in itself. I mean, one could argue that the real culprit of a war crime is not the one who slaughters the innocent, but the one who orders and allows such a slaughter. So while the Harkonnens themselves don't eat humans, their way of life and their culture is pretty sickening to say the least. Personally, we feel that the Harkonnens are worse than the Harpies they keep, and we won't be surprised to find out that the other rich folk from Gedi Prime also share the company of Harpies and other monsters. But hey, that's just our opinion. What do you think about the whole subject? Do you think the Harkonnens practice cannibalism themselves? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll see you for the next marvelous video.